Good evening. Welcome to the October 17th, 2022 Valley View regularly scheduled board meeting. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Member Baduras?
Here.
Member Campbell?
Here.
Member Venegas?
Present.
Member Perrell?
Here.
Vice President Zach?
Here.
And President Quigley.
Here. Need a motion to make Member Campbell the secretary, acting secretary for tonight's meeting?
So moved. Second.
Motion and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell? Yes. Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Perrell?
Yes.
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
And President Quigley.
Yes. Let's see. We're going out of sorts a little bit. Board affirmation statement. Vice President Zach.
Our mission to empower every learner to be college, career, and life ready, and to develop, grow, and achieve as a productive citizen.
Ms. Kinder, the agenda, if you would, please.
Thank you, President Quigley. I would like to ask the board to approve the agenda with 2 revisions. We would like to move section 6, including all 6 items under that section, immediately following the agenda approval before section 5, followed by section 11. We would also like to move up as the second order of business. That is including 11.1 and 11.2, and then proceed with the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Perrell?
Yes.
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
And President Quigley.
Yes. Mr. Renish, if you would, please.
6.1 Treasurer's Action Report. The Treasurer's Action Report 6.1 includes the normal schedule of financial reports, balance sheets, summary of revenue and expenditures, interim obligations, and debt service payments totaling $5,828,741.87 for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Perrell?
Yes.
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Vice President Zach?
Yes.
President Quigley.
Yes.
6.2 Scheduled Bills. Scheduled bills for the month of October. We have 6 funds totaling bills payable of $5,348,225.03 for your approval.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Baduras?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Abstain.
Member Perro,
Abstain.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell,
Yes.
Vice President Zach,
Yes.
and President Quigley.
Yes. Having received the requisite vote, that passes. Mr. Renich, if you would please.
In your packet, you have a summary of investments for the month of September, along with property taxes received, state funding update, and all schools trust fund activity. This is an informational agenda item.
State funding update, where are we at? 2.5, little 2.6 million, that's not terrible.
Yeah, it's only 7 days if you look at the lag report, so that's not bad, so.
Oh, sure.
On the majority
Gotcha.
of them, so.
Perfect, thank
Yep.
you. Moving down the agenda, Mr. Renich.
11.1, purchase of a van. The district has been committed to becoming a community school district. As such, the district has developed a program that honors this commitment. Having a van would support the program in a way that would allow the delivery of many donations and district purchases. Because of supply chain shortages with this vehicle, the district did not use the standard bid processing. It is important to note, when purchasing this van, several quotes were sought to ensure the best price. The administration is recommending that the Board of Education approve the purchase of the 2022 Transit Connect van in the amount of $36,579.24.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Member Perro,
Yes.
Member Venegas,
Yes.
Member Badouris,
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell,
Yes.
Vice President Zach,
Yes.
and President Quigley.
Yes. Mr. Renich.
11.2, the school maintenance grant is a dollar-for-dollar state matching grant program providing awards up to $50,000 in matching funds. The Woodview Playground is over 23 years old and has been identified as a high priority for replacement. The overall project is estimated at $355,000. Taking advantage of the grant funding and applying said funding to this project makes good financial sense. The replacement of this playground is in the district's long-term facility plan. The administration is recommending that the Board of Education authorize the playground replacement project at Woodview Elementary School, reserve local funds to meet the matching requirements, and execute the district certification document for the school maintenance project grant.
So moved.
Motion? Oh,
Second.
motion and seconded. Any discussion? We talked to members of the community from Woodview. We went out and looked at the site, and what Mr. Renich said was, it was dated to say the least, and we decided to take action on this and up the time frame for when we would be replacing that. And thanks to staff for getting on that pretty quickly. Mike, you're in the back nodding your head, and John, thank you for that as well. If there's no further discussion, a roll call vote would be in order.
Member Venegas,
Yes.
Member Perro,
Yes.
Member Badouris,
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell,
Yes.
Vice President Zach,
Yes.
and President Quigley.
Yes. I have to leave for a business meeting that I have this evening. I'm going to be turning the meeting over. Thank you all for coming. Very much appreciate it. Stay warm. Thank you, board members, for your time, and I bid you adieu.
I move that Vice President Zach fill in for President Quigley tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Can we have a motion and a second? A roll call vote, please.
Member Badouris,
Yes.
Member Campbell,
Yes.
Member Venegas,
Yes.
Member Perro,
Yes.
Vice President Zach.
Yes. Okay, go back to the agenda, number 4.0. Ms. Kinder? Nope, 5.0, student and staff recognition.
I'd like to welcome the Iesa State Cross Country Qualifiers from Jane Addams Middle School. Come on down.
I'll wait for a few of them to direct traffic up there. I know, they're much faster than this. I don't know what's going on. I think if I put some flags up, they'd know where to go. There we go. Well, I'll start out. I'm Coach Thas, and I am very, very fortunate to have this be my 19th year coaching the Jane Addams cross country team. Thank you. And also, along with that, I'm also very lucky to be coaching with the same person for those same 19 years. Coach Setchell has been there to put up with all my dumb ideas. So 19 years ago, we were just a little cross-country team getting started, and we were cleaning up the sectional meet, and I turned to Setchell, and I was like, we kind of just had this loose bunch of goals that we wanted to accomplish as coaches. And I said, hey man, wouldn't it be awesome if we like went to a board meeting and like rolled in there with 2 teams, 20 kids? Wouldn't that be awesome? And he's like, yeah, all right, that's one of our goals. Our goal is to get 2 teams downstate. 19 years we have failed at that goal until this year. This year we finally did it. So we have just an amazing group of kids. They are all, it is just an awesome thing when you get to a point with a group of kids where they have so much trust in what you're saying and what you're doing that they will do any workout. They do still complain a little bit sometimes, but for the most part, they were there doing, hey guys, we're doing 800-meter repeats. 7 of them. What? Yep, let's go out there and do it. And they would do it, and they wouldn't even question it. So we were very lucky that this year our girls team was able to get down. We qualified 3rd out of the sectional, and it's. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the girls who were part of that that state qualifying team. Our first one is just an amazing girl, and she got thrown into a race halfway through the season that was the fast race, and she wasn't ready for it. But you know what? She stepped up and she did it, and I think it really turned her season around because she did amazing, and that's why she's standing here. Grace Parsons. Here we go. Go that way. So walk that way. Walk that way. All right, next one is one of our 2 6th graders that made it. She just really worked from day one and just kept getting better at the mile and then the 2 mile, and I was just really impressed with her work ethic. Gabriela Corona. Yeah. This is one of our 8th graders. She ran all summer. She's run every summer that she's been with us, and there is not a workout that she will say no to and just works her tail off. Celine Alvarez. So most of the kids on the team, I've at least found like in a gym class or something, and I was like, hey, come out for the team. Olivia just showed up. I don't know how she got there. And she came out, somebody convinced her to come out, and she really, really worked hard and worked her way up and made it as our 7th runner at sectionals and at state. So great job, Olivia Brown. Come on, Tina. I voted at state that best braids definitely go to Chun-Li. It's really nice when she's up in front and I can tell the girls in back like, hey, do you see that? Do you see those braids? That's Chun-Li. Go after her. And she did it. She had a really great season. Chun-Li Stowers. So I do a little camp before the season starts, and Elena came out and was just kind of training with us and was not going to do cross country and decided to do cross country, and I am so glad she did because she ended up being our 5th scoring runner at sectionals and one of the reasons we made it. Great job, Elena Manis. It is always a nice surprise when you get a 6th grader who can run. They just show up one day and they have a bunch of speed, and she really, really stepped up at the end of the season. Michaela Curran. So this girl right here, 19 years. I have named her the toughest kid I have ever coached. I'm going to tell you a quick story to prove this. All right. We did a rust buster, which is like they haven't done anything for a few days, and then you like really hit them hard with something. And we did this rust buster, and she went up around the hill, and she was coming down kind of slow. And I was like, "You okay?" She's like, "I threw up." I was like, "Are you okay? Do you want to stop?" She's like, "No, I already threw up. It's cool." And I just kept going. She is so tough, and there is not an injury she won't run through, and she really was the turning point in our season. Anaya Emery. This girl, I really wanted her to make it last year to state, and I was so happy she made it this year. She is a wonderful girl and just a really talented runner, Jet Gardner. There are some kids that it really is hard to say bye to, and she is going to do wonders at the high school, and she was our team captain and a state qualifier last year, and just really was the heart and soul of our team this year, Adriana Johnson. All right, so now our boys team. Our boys team was dominant this year. It was amazing to walk into, they were 20-1 this year, and I'm just gonna say that one loss, not all of them were there, okay? So they still would have won, but it's technically 20-1. And they went first meet to the last meet, just dominating people. It wasn't even close. They won every single race all the way up until the state meet, where we finished 7th, but we won the Shanahan Invitational, we won the East vs. West Invitational, and they were just absolutely incredible to watch. And it's just a wonderful thing at a coach when you see this fine working machine just doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So this first gentleman, he was on the track team, and I saw him in the gym one day, and I was like, hey, you wanna run? He's like, sure, I'll come out. And then he was running miles with us. And then he was a state qualifier, Andy Fausto. This next gentleman, we had Miss Poteet over at Jane Addams just came up to me and said, hey, I got this really nice kid. He just came to school, and I think he'd be a really good runner. And he came out, and he worked so hard those first couple days. And it was a mile, and then he was doing 2 miles, and then he's going on these distance runs, and he earned the spot that he had, David Villamil. It is not be easy being the only 6th grader on the team with a bunch of 7th and 8th graders, and Alex earned every single second of that. He was our number 1 6th grader, and he was our 8th runner this year, Alex Manis. Alex's older brother ran, and I would continually harass him that his brother ran faster than he did, but he finally got him. He finally beat his brother's time. He ran, what was it, 12:21? Was that your fastest time? 12:23. 12:23, you can hold it over your brother's head for the rest of your life. All right, Alex and Inga. It was really awesome to see the transformation in this young man. He was a sprinter. He was a state qualifier in sprinting. I convinced him to come out, and he was like a completely different runner. He was really stiff as a sprinter and just like put in over 100 miles over the summer and earned this spot, Logan Sagavo. I'm gonna take a second here to tell you a little bit about cross country. If you don't know cross country, your top 5 runners score. So the problem with that is if you are the 5th runner, you get the most wrath of the coach of constantly telling you, you are not fast enough. And it is really hard for me to yell at him because he is the nicest kid on the planet. But he really worked, and he exceeded every expectation and ended up running an 11:57 at sectionals, and one of the reasons we won. Great job, Owen Jones. Brian is, these next 3 boys coming up are the most talented 7th graders I have ever had the pleasure of coaching, and Brian is one of them. He doesn't say much, but he proves every single day why he is such a great athlete and a great runner by what he does during the meets. Great job, Brian. Brian Segundo. This guy is the battery of this boys team. He is what energizes them. He is the biggest cheerleader for us out there. He was the guy who would be out there being like, we can do this, we can get there, we can do exactly what we need to do. And he was our number 2 runner pretty much all season, Juwan Gardner. This is now the 3rd Ifejeku that I've had the pleasure of coaching, and he is an incredible 400-meter runner. You're going to see him here in May. We're going to talk about him in May because he's that good at it, but he is also an absolutely incredible distance runner, and it was so cool watching a 400-meter runner just blow by like 10 kids the last straightaway at state. It was awesome. Yorichoku Ifejeku. All right, allow me just one. I know you've been listening to me a lot, but there's 20 of them. I earned this, all right? I earned this. This next young man, I want to give you some of his stats. From the first meet all the way through the sectional meet, undefeated. Not his margin of victory over every single person that he ran against was an average of 22 seconds, his largest being 50 seconds. He beat the second place runner in. He won the Troy Invitational. He won the Shanahan Invitational. He won the East vs. West Invitational. He won the sectional meet. He finished 6th at the state meet. He now has the district and the school record of a 10:34 for 2 miles. To give you an idea, if we all like just ran 100 yards and like handed off to each other, okay, and we ran all out, he'd still beat all of us. Like, that's how fast this kid is. It was amazing watching him. Jonathan Sagai. Thank you all very much. Thank you, parents. You guys are the best. We appreciate it.
All right. Ms. Kinder, 5.2, Spotlight Video.
Thank you, Jane Addams, student athletes and families. Have a great evening. We are very proud of your accomplishments. Keep working hard. Okay, so moving forward in the agenda, tonight for our staff spotlight, we would like to spotlight a principal of ours, an elementary principal, Jennifer Duffy from Oakview Elementary School. October is National School Principals Month, and it is an opportunity to celebrate and honor our incredible school principals for their visionary leadership and tireless pursuit of success for each student. We thank all 22 Valley View School District's principals for their dedication and leadership. And now we would like to share some time, a few moments, with Principal Jennifer Duffy at Oakview Elementary School. Love and courage are her personal core values, and she seeks to encourage those values in her students, staff, and school community. So I present to you Principal Jennifer Duffy.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Hello, treasure. Do you need a hand? Do you have everything? Want me to open the door for you? There you go, kiddo. Have a great day. Hi, Christian. Good morning. How are you? Have a great day. I taught for about 10, 12 years in Valley View, and I became an instructional coach. And what I loved about that was being with teachers and supporting the instruction so that they can support the students. What I miss, though, was being tied to the students so much dearly. I miss that so much. You do get to work with the students, but not at the level that you do as a principal. You get that instructional leadership piece, and you get that teacher-student piece as a principal. Like, you're really, really impacting so many kids, and I didn't get that so much as an instructional coach as much as I wanted to.
How do you create a caring, welcoming, and vibrant environment for both students and staff members?
When you walk into our Oakview school community, how I want people to feel is loved and cared for and valued here, because you're just going to do better when you feel loved, cared for, and valued, because I do better when I feel that way. So it starts from the top. So everything that I do is embedded in beliefs, in core values. And my core values are love and courage. And so my staff knows that, my students know that, my school families know that, and I have to walk the talk, so I set the tone of that. And everything we do has to be embedded with love and courage and integrity, because kids are going to do better. So that always has to come first.
Back in the dark ages when I was in school, the last place I ever wanted to go was Sister Marilyn's office. Thankfully, things have changed in education. How do you make sure that your office is a welcoming place for everyone?
When kids do come down for things that they may need a little support with, we treat it that way, that they need a little support. So we meet them where they're at, and if they do, we try to create a resolution and see it for what it is, and they may need some instructional support. But for those proactive things, I mean, we celebrate kids, we take a lot of pictures for them to take home, we do some lunches, we create jobs for the kids, for them to come down to the office. We celebrate birthdays, so the kids come down to the office, they get a birthday book, they get a birthday pencil. I mean, there's lots of fun stuff that we do. And I'm so visible that I go around and, talk to the kids all the time and give them hugs if they need it, that, a lot of times they'll just ask, can I go down? And I have something that I'd like to talk to Mrs. Duffy about or Mr. Horn about. We do a lot of lunches with the kids, so they're always requesting to come see us. I think I think it stems from the way just you are with the kids in the building, that the same thing will go with going to my office. And parents will ask me that too. They'll be like, why do they want to go to your office? It's not a scary place. It's not reserved for discipline. That's not what it's about. My office is a place to just care for kids and care for staff.
Hi, Florida. She's a good girl.
She's a great girl. She is. She just gets a little hyper like us kids, right? The best part of the job are those magical moments where you see just your kids and your school community feel valued and cared for, and then you see the thrive of that. That's the magic of the job, is that when you put your love and your heart and your soul into the job, and you're putting out there, your beliefs, and your staff members are picking up on it, and then your students are picking up on it, and your families, and you feel it and you see it. That is by far the best part of the job.
Thank you, Principal Duffy. She is certainly one of our many incredible leaders in Valley View School District. Thank you very much.
Okay. 7.1.
All right.
Consent agenda.
Yes, moving down the agenda to consent. I'm requesting your approval on 5 items this evening. 7.1, board meeting minutes, September 26, 2022. 7.2, executive session meeting minutes, September 26, 2022. 7.3, gifts to Bolingbrook High School and Romeoville High School. 7.4, trips, Bolingbrook and Romeoville High School. And 7.5, student activity contract with Interstate Studios and Jonas Salk Elementary.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach.
Yes. Board liaison reports. From my left? From my right? We have none. Audience participation. Is there anyone that would like to address the board? If so, please state your name, and remember that due to time restraints, we have 5 minutes. 10.1, action reports, human resource. Dr. Nash.
Thank you. 10.1 is our action report, which is our consolidated action report for certified and classified personnel. We're seeking your approval this evening on all items as presented.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. We have any questions, discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Badouris?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach.
Yes. Job descriptions. Looks
Yes.
like a lot of them.
Yes, sir. Action report 10.2 are job descriptions for our printing services department. These were presented at our last board meeting, and we're seeking your approval on the revised and 2 new job descriptions for that department as part of their restructuring plan.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Buduris?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach.
Yes. Action reports, Superintendent Kinder.
Yes, sir. Action Report 12.1 is seeking the approval for a new course, Digital Art. This is on behalf of Executive Director of Educational Services Adam Herder and Angie Beam, Core Content and Enrichment Administrator, who along with their team presented information at the September 26th board meeting, and tonight we are seeking your approval.
So moved. Second.
Do we have any questions or discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Buduris?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach.
Yes.
Okay, and Action Report 12.2 is also a new course seeking your approval for fitness and social emotional learning. Bringing this back for your approval after information was presented by Tammy Kahn, Director of Career and Tech Education, and the team supporting this proposal, along with Adam Herder, Executive Director for Educational Services.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Venegas?
Yes.
Member Peril?
Yes.
Member Buduris?
Yes.
Secretary Pro Tem Campbell?
Yes.
And President Pro Tem Zach.
Yes. Superintendent information reports. Superintendent Kinder, an update, please?
Yes, a few brief updates this evening. Our following information report will be specifically related to stewardship of resources, specifically with staffing and recruitment, but just a few general updates to share before we get to that point. Okay, so we have our slides delayed, and so continuing the good work that our staff and all of our support staff and partners do every day for our families and alongside in partnership with our families for our students. I do want to make mention of National School Bus Safety Week. It is really critical, and I think as much as we think we're aware of it, is something to continue to really stress and emphasize. In the past couple weeks, we had two serious incidents where thankfully students were not seriously injured, but were injured because of motorists with students in the crosswalk. And so I just ask the entire community to continue your vigilance at high traffic times, at arrival and dismissal. Our kids are on the road, our kids are walking, biking, our older kids are even driving. So please help us and do your part in keeping our children safe. I'd like to mention that our family website is continuing to evolve and grow to grow in our partnership and empowering families to stay active and involved and together supporting student learning and development. We continue to offer many great learning opportunities as well as many other opportunities to become involved or connected or get connected to resources. Many of our opportunities, some are in person, but some are also virtual, and I know that that has been a thing that has been noted as a great convenience for many families. We all lead very busy lives, so if you're able to join us for any of the virtual opportunities, please check out our website. There's a great deal of offerings. In addition, we have just so many phenomenal community partners that we work with on a regular basis to really expand that network of support. So there's some of the upcoming ones that are in the next, this week and next week. You can see those on the screen. For information, please visit our website and you can get information about the location or how to connect with us virtually. Also would like to mention that online registration is open for parent-teacher conferences. These will be held the evening of October 27th and the morning of October 28th. Please visit us online to sign up for your conference. Based on parent feedback, we are offering a virtual option as well, so you're welcome to come in and meet with our teachers and support staff, or you are welcome to set up a virtual conference and take 10 minutes out of your workday or 10 minutes from home with your little ones and jump on and have that connection with your child's teacher or teachers. It's so critically important, and we really encourage you to take advantage of that. At the upcoming board meeting, we will be sharing some information about the Illinois School Report Card. Information on the Illinois School Report Card has been shared with district and school leaders for preview, and this is under embargo until the end of the month, at which time it becomes public and is available online. There's going to be information that we'll share at the upcoming board meeting related to student growth, meaning how are our students doing in relation to their academic peers across the state, their like academic peers across the state. Summative designations are returning as federally required for the first time since 2019. This is a designation that is I guess, given to schools based on multiple measures of student performance and other measures. So we will explain that in detail and share with you how our schools are doing and how we're doing as a district as a whole. The Equity Journey Continuum will be a new tool that we will introduce to you that ISB has included on the Illinois School Report Card. And this is a tool that's provided for school districts and community to give a lens, looking through the lens of equity and highlighting where gaps or inequities may occur. And we will be able to go into detail with you at the upcoming board meeting, as well as connect to our current and ongoing efforts with learning and growth. In addition, we just completed our collection of voice from student voice, staff voice, and family voice. We've just completed that. This is a critical component of our district and building improvement efforts. So as that all gets finalized and synthesized, we'll be using that information. We'll be sharing a summary with you, and leaders from the district to the building level and our teams at the building and in our teams and departments all use this voice. It is certainly critical to our efforts. So be looking forward to those upcoming updates. And just a few upcoming important dates. I mentioned conferences. There are a few days of no student attendance due to conferences, Election Day, and then also Veterans Day. And then in the interim, we'll share any updates with the community, and we will see you at the next board meeting on November 14th.
Thank you.
All right.
Dr. Nash.
All right, and so now the information report that I alluded to. Specific to our strategic plan goal, stewardship of resources and empowerment. And tonight the team, led by Dr. Judy Nash, our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, will be highlighting efforts specific to our recruitment efforts.
Thank you very much. I am very excited to be here tonight with this amazing team behind me, and they will be speaking with all of you as well. Over the past couple of board meetings, we've had the opportunity to hear some of the work from the various strategic plan groups and strategies, and so tonight we get the opportunity to share the story of some of our forward progress with respect to the work that we've been invested in as well within the strategic plan. And so I would like to just briefly introduce some of the folks behind me who have been invested in the work. Ravel Polak, who is our Director of Human Resources, Kathy Ailes, who is one of our coordinators for strategic projects. And I'd also like to introduce you to Paola Vieira. She's one of our paraprofessionals, and she is a beneficiary of some of the work that we have been embarking in. So I'm going to have her share some of her experience as well during this presentation. And so part of our story is a big one. Human resources encompasses and permeates several areas of our strategic plan and the goals and the objectives and the strategies that are contained within it. And so tonight we have the opportunity to share just maybe one small chapter of this story with you. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about our recruitment efforts specifically. So where are we going? I think the best way to start the story is to describe where we're going and the outcomes that we have that are guiding our efforts. And the best way to answer that question is a quick review of our strategic plan. So as we look at the portrait of the learner competencies, we know that our strategic plan answers those with the priority areas. And number 4, stewardship of resources empowerment, is where recruitment lives. And so again, that's where we're going to start our story tonight, is within stewardship of resources and empowerment and our recruitment efforts. And so what we want as a district is to make sure that we are recruiting and developing and retaining the best and most qualified employees who are connected to and poised to support a diverse student population in our school community, so that those students in our school community can attain those portrait of a learner competencies. And so while we're rooted in some of those compliance pieces, really it's all about why we're in this work and why we're in this journey is because it is absolutely what's going to be best for our kids and their development and growth over time that they're with us and beyond. So I'm going to pass over the presentation to Ravel Polak, and she's going to talk a little bit more about why. Why are we on this journey?
So, our demographic has shifted over the past 7 years as the Hispanic, EL, and Black percentage has grown. The demographic shifts, however, are not unique to Valley View School District. The Ed Week Center Analysis Research formally recognized this shift across the country in 2021. The shift in student demographic, however, fuels our equitable hiring practices. The intended purpose is to attract qualified candidates poised to represent our student population, which will lead to hiring staff with a diverse perspective. While we believe this approach is best practice and what our students deserve, this ideology is backed by research. According to research, a diverse perspective academically benefits all of our students. Specifically, it leads to creativity and problem solving, improvement in student and community relationships. Schools are better equipped to work with all students, increase retention of diverse employees, improvement in hiring of younger applicants as they seek and expect a diverse workforce. Part of this work is driven by what appears to be an educator shortage, not unique again to VVSD. The educational landscape has a hiring shortage for an array of teaching positions. The hiring shortage for us is not equal across subject areas, as you can see. We are specifically seeing a trend in the following areas: dual language, math, middle school and high school, paraprofessionals, psychologists, speech and language pathologists, and our special education teachers. It is our belief these positions will eventually parallel the educational landscape given the anticipated number of retirement over the next 5 years. As we look to recruit the best and the brightest, we understand we contend against teacher preparation enrollment just here in the state of Illinois. There has been a significant decline of people interested in careers in education. As a result, we understand we are competing for a small number of candidates in the state to fill our high-need positions. To provide additional clarity, Lewis University is one of our strongest partnerships when recruiting. Here are the number of both grad and undergrad students enrolled in 21-22. As you preview those numbers, be mindful we are also competing against the surrounding school districts, such as District 86, Troy, Plainfield, Naperville, Lamont, and Lockport, to name a few. We understand that it's not possible to out-recruit the mentioned school districts. We have identified innovative recruitment strategies such as Grow Your Own to create a teacher pipeline for our district. We will further discuss how we are taking stock in our learning community right here at VVSD later in our presentation. Kathy Els will tell you a little bit more about where we are now. No, she won't. No, she won't. Dr. Nash will tell you a little bit more about where we are now.
Okay, so you've heard a little bit about the urgency and why our recruitment efforts are so vitally important to what's going to be great for our kids and making sure that we have the very best staff in front of them and around them day after day. And you've heard a little bit about, again, just some of that urgency around it and why it's important. So just to give you a little bit of a snapshot of where we are now and some of the statistics that we looked at as we were starting to focus some of our efforts. We know that the racial ethnic makeup of our district, of our students, is about 70% Black and Hispanic. And this gives you an idea, a snapshot of the racial and ethnic makeup of some of the certified roles or our certified educators in various roles throughout our building. So building administration, bilingual classroom teachers, special education classroom teachers, and general education classroom teachers. In addition, we wanted to paint a little picture of our new hires and some of the results of the fruits of the labor that we've put forth over the course of the past year and some of the creative methods that we have embarked upon to increase our recruiting efforts and improve our recruiting efforts. And so this gives you an idea of the class of 22 versus the class of 23 in terms of the diversity portrait that is contained therein. And so our story continues with some of the efforts that we have to increase our recruiting.
So historically, we have tapped into conventional spaces for recruitment. We've attended college fairs, partnered with Golden Apple in colleges to provide field experiences to teachers, prospective teachers anticipating to enter the workforce, offered mentorship to newly hired educators. Also, what's most notable would be our grant-funded Grow Your Own program, which is a partnership with Lewis University. During high school, students are introduced to a career path in education through coursework. These students are encouraged to pursue a career in education during their college experience. This is just a glimpse of how we have strengthened our efforts. So essentially, we've capitalized on things that we've done historically to ensure that we are hiring the best and the brightest. We use community events as an opportunity to make people aware of our great work with students and invite them to become a part of our dynamic team. We have partnered with Golden Apple to make a materialized difference in addressing the teacher shortage by placing all their requested teacher residency in our learning communities. We also allow them to work with our students over the summer during our summer programming efforts. HR is proud to say we have hosted 2 extremely successful job fairs and currently preparing for a 3rd one very soon, right here in our community. HR hosts and participate in as many mock interviews as possible to identify talent within the teaching pool. We also host our own mock interviews for our student teachers, for our student teachers or student teachers that are currently within other school districts. For the first time, we created the VVSD's Handshake, which is an opportunity for our student teachers and other student teachers we invite to connect with building administrators within our learning communities to learn more about us as a district. We provide field study support. We ready them to apply for positions and include them in our resume portfolios that we give our principals access to. Over 50% of student teachers in the VVSD portfolio were hired this year alone. This year, we are piloting a teacher residency program for our paraprofessionals, which you will hear more about this from Catherine Ailes. Now, I'm ready for you.
So as you've heard, we have a solid foundation. So we began to think, what can we do and what can we enhance to take us to the next level? Because we need to be innovative if we're going to compete against districts around us. So we looked at our student teachers. We talked to our universities and the colleges and said, what was your program lacking within the pandemic, and what can we support your candidates? It came down to they needed additional support in filling out an online application. They needed additional support in the classroom, as classroom management was done through Zoom. So Rovell and I, after 30 days of having a candidate in the district, made visits. Just a friendly face to see how you were doing. What support did you need? What else could Valley View offer you? We took in their feedback, we checked in with them in 60 days, we checked back in 90 days, and at the end, we reached out to our executive directors, our assistant directors, and our principals. And we asked them, would you be willing to host an interview session with our student teachers? They were gracious and they gave us their time. The energy that was in this room for the very first time was exciting. Not only were our admin thrilled to be there, but our student teachers, the value of the feedback they had in the moment for the very first time was exciting for them. We heard from the student teachers, we heard from the colleges and universities, and we heard from our admin team. This was by far one of the most exciting things we could have done, and we will continue to do and refine as we go. We also look at relationships that we have and we are blessed to have with Lewis University. Lewis and VVSD began to look at what does a potential residency program look like here. We potentially have a pipeline through our paraprofessionals They're vested in Valley View, and some of them have been with us for a great deal of time and are interested in having their own classroom. We reached out again to our principals and asked them who they would recommend in their staff to be part of this. They forwarded their names, and we went through a process. We are piloting a very small section, and we're learning as we go. It's been in session for 3 months, and we've revised 3 months each time as we learn the continuous process and then we improve for the candidates at hand. We provide mentoring. It's a 1-year online course while they're in their classroom working alongside of that cooperating teacher. We have 2 candidates that will speak to you tonight. The first one is a video.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Lyles. I'm a paraprofessional at the Early Childhood Center in Romeoville. I've been in the district for 16 years, been at the same school the entire time. Love it, love it, love it here. It's a fantastic place to work. Truly enjoy working with the kids. The kids are fantastic. I've learned so much about little ones and their personalities, and it's been fantastic for me. I would recommend working at Valley View to anyone who is looking for a job, whether you're trying to work in special ed or regular ed. I think it's a great place to work. In all of my 16 years prior to working here, I worked in the business world, so this was a different world for me. And I started subbing, was just doing something to sub, and then started loving it, was offered a job, and I've been here ever since. Very, very excited about the pilot program. Was not thinking about going back to school, was kind of, but not fully sold on it, because I know what to student teach, I need to take off work without pay. And when this position was presented to me to be able to student teach in my classroom and still be paid, I'm like, wait, what? This can't be real. I'm like, this would be awesome. Because imagine having to take off work from January to May with no pay. That just wasn't something that was feasible for me in my financial life. So when this position was offered, I'm like, this is great. Like, I love my classroom, love the teacher that I work with. I feel very comfortable. So it's going to be an easy transition for me to transfer and to be having my own classroom. We'll recommend the program for anyone who's willing to do the work. It's really all about doing the work and being confident in knowing that what you're doing will make a difference.
Good evening. My name is Paola Vieira. I have 10 years of experience in preschool. My first 5 at the Catholic Charities Head Start program, and the past 5 years at the James Mitchum Early Childhood Center. My story is different from others. On my second year as a teacher aide, I noticed how challenging it was for our administration to fill our building teachers' absences. God put in my heart to get my substitute teacher license to aid my building in situations like that. And as a result of doing that, a deep love for teaching started growing within me. More than a position, I see a mission at teaching. I can possibly impact so many children and families sharing my talents with them. After having my teacher sub license for 4 years, a lot of coworkers started to cheer me up about going back to school to be a teacher. To me, that was not an option money-wise, because we have a junior in the university and a senior in high school in our family. They come first. Our school savings and resources are for them. Getting in debt is not our lifestyle. The cost of paying for my grad education stopped me until this summer, when I got invited to participate in the pilot resident program. The program guided me about how to get scholarships. My tuition is fully covered, thank God. I will be able to do my student teaching and be employed as a para. My family won't lack my income during that time. Also, as part of my plan of study, I need to teach first and second grade during the summer of 2023, and our district will provide me with that opportunity. Valley View School District has a collaboration with Lewis University, who has met all my requirements and supports me to reach my goal in an extraordinarily shorter way, honoring my work experience to validate classes. This program does an excellent job of training and producing high-level teachers. The district has taught me so much. This is the place where I want to stay and keep learning. And by the way, I see myself in a bilingual blended classroom. English is my second language, and I myself am a mom of a child with a learning disability who has special needs. I have been at both sides of an IEP meeting, and I understand and empathize with families like mine. My classroom should also be multicultural. I am an immigrant from Mexico, and I honor and embrace the different cultures that enrich our community. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not sure how much more I could possibly add to that. And I get really, I get really emotional when I hear the stories. I see people like Ms. Lyles, who I came into the district with almost several years ago, I think just maybe 2 years apart, and people like Paola who have grown within this district and are really the heart of what we're doing here in this work. So I am privileged. I'm absolutely privileged to be part of this work. So just so you're aware of some next steps in supporting our hiring initiatives, again, we're going to continue to strengthen our Grow Your Own student and educator pathway, not just identifying potential students who eventually will grow, go to college, and maybe come back to us as teachers, hopefully, but also looking within our own staff and the talent that we have already here. Who may want to ascend in that direction. We're going to continue to strengthen our marketing and communication with a variety of stakeholders to let people know who Valley View, who we are and what we're all about. We're retooling currently our career page on our website, since that is one of our first front-facing appearances for a lot of people who are interested in our district. We're continuing to explore our funding sources to build that paraprofessional resident program that you just heard about. And again, we're strengthening our university relationships for the purpose of recruiting. So recruiting is not just one or our whole piece here. I mean, we have to also talk about retention and establishing a responsive and caring culture so that we can retain the fantastic staff that we recruit. But that's chapter 2 for another day, and we'll talk more at that time about teacher mentoring, our administrative mentoring programs, our affinity groups, coaching supports, professional development, and digital professional learning supports, again, another time. And I can't end this presentation without saying thank you to these individuals on the screen, as well as many, many others who invested countless hours, days over the summer, during the school year to attend various job fairs, to provide insight and guidance, to meet with us. Dr. Rebecca Pruitt from one of our universities, Lewis, who's on the call with us constantly, trying to help us build these programs and our partnerships with Lewis among just one of our various universities. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. We will just continue this work with hopefully continued excellent results. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Nash. Next on the agenda, production color copier replacement. Mr. Renich.
The district is in the process of replacing one of its high-use production copiers at the print shop. The machine being replaced is approaching 5 years old, which in accounting terms is at the end of its depreciated value of its useful life. Over the past 5 years, this machine has made over 22 million copies. The machine at this point has little or no value. The district has sought quotes for a new C7090 Conoco Minolta machine, which is included in your packet. This is an informational item, and it's the administration's intent to bring this action item at the next board meeting.
Thank you. Legal service.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Guess that's good news. Association and Federation reports. AFT, Valley View Council, and Valley View Office Personnel Council. Thank you. Any old business from the board? Any new business from the board? The Freedom of Information Act link to VVSD website with logo and formal FOIA items are available. Any announcements from our board? What? Okay. I have actually two announcements. The first one is the last Saturday of the month, St. Andrews is having their belated Oktoberfest at the church. And the other announcement is about the Romeoville High School Marching Spartans were named grand champions of 16 schools at Naperville Central Marching Classic on Saturday. The band also won first place in class AAA as well. Outstanding general effects, outstanding musical performance, outstanding percussions, and outstanding visual performance. So thank you for them. Any announcements from the administration?
Excuse me, Vice President, I just wanted to share something real quick. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to Wilco was having an open night, and there's obviously a lot of programs at Wilco. And I thought about how, what Dr. Nash presented in Lewis University, and, part of Wilco's programs is that they do offer a lot of stuff for our kids, whether it's fire science, nursing, criminal justice, policing, and we should really consider this paraprofessional program through Wilco, because obviously that's also a homegrown program. It goes through Bolingbrook and Romeoville High School, and obviously I think it's open to a lot of the other high schools, but as you were saying that, I just thought, wow, that would be a great recruiting area for some of our paraprofessionals and some of our folks that we are missing, because at the end of the day, I think everyone is going after these new recruits. But I just want to say that because Wilco was fantastic. My daughter's taking the courses there, and I fell in love with their programs. I'm actually trying to push my son so that we can both do some fire science courses together there. But anyway, I just thought it's a great organization, great program. Mr. Zach, I know Vic Zach, you represent us there. Didn't mean to step on that, but I wanted to share that because I was really impressed with their program there and everything that they do there at Wilco. So
Leo,
just thought I'd share that.
It's truly amazing for the kids that don't know what they want to do to get any type of logistics class. They've done a bunch of outstanding things there because we have so many buildings around here. It is unbelievable. It's one of the most enjoyable things I do, sitting on that, seeing that there's other alternatives for a decent paying job. Thank you for mentioning that.
Wilco is a great partner of ours. We work very closely with Director Elizabeth Kaufman, and we are hand in hand in strengthening our pathways, strengthening the workplace experience, the industry credentialing, and making this all part of that larger picture and that system for that post-secondary readiness. They're a tremendous partner, one of many, and we're working with Elizabeth and with the region, with Joliet Junior College, to be even more intentional and build upon the already amazing things that are happening there. So thank you for mentioning that.
Any announcements from our administration?
On the topic of principal appreciation, a good number of our principals have attended the state conference, and I just wanted to mention that at the conference today, Dr. Wood, principal of Brooks Middle School, was recognized as Principal of the Year for Illinois. So they're there to root him on and celebrate him as he was recognized at the event earlier today. And I just want to say congratulations, and we will formally invite him to the board meeting to recognize him, along with, he's one of our many fantastic leaders that we have. So we're pleased to congratulate and recognize him.
Could we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, nothing. Thank you for attending tonight, and have a safe drive home.
Hey, is your neighbor? Yeah, that's my neighbor. Oh, okay. That's what I thought.